Hello, lovelies. Today we're going to watch a video. It's titled Americans in London Q&A. And I didn't watch the full video, but I did watch maybe the first 1 to 2 minutes. And when they went around and introduced themselves, they are all African Americans. So sometimes that offers a unique perspective. We'll see if they get into that. So let's see what their experience is like in the UK.
Hey guys, it's Paige. Welcome back to my channel. I have a very special video for you all today because as you can see, I am being joined by my lovely friends for an American in London Q&A video. So that means all of us here are from the States and we are now living in London, England. Yeah. So we have
I love the beginning vibe, man. It's like they're having so much fun. They seem so happy. I'm curious to see what it's like for them living in London.
have some questions that I came up with, but also some questions from my subscribers. I asked them over on Instagram in a poll to send some over, and we got some good ones.
Okay. Are they juicy?
They're informative. So if you're out there and you're thinking about moving abroad to London, hopefully this is helpful for you.
Do it. Or don't do it.
Or don't. We're going to let you know what we think. Do or don't. Okay. Y'all ready to get into it?
Yeah.
Okay, maybe we should introduce ourselves first, though.
Oh, yes.
If you're not familiar with us, again, I'm Paige Mariah. This is my channel, and these are my friends.
Hi,
What's your name?
I'm Alamade.
And where are you from?
I'm from Los Angeles. Los Angeles and like by way of New York though.
I'm Stephanie. I'm from Boston.
I'm Brittany Greathouse, and I'm from Chi-Town, Chicago. Well, actually, Bolingbrook.
That's suburban.
I'm Jessica, and I'm from South Central LA.
Yes. Okay.
Okay, one thing I noticed right off the bat, they're all from large cities to begin with. So I imagine it would be a whole different experience. Like someone like me, who's always lived in smaller cities, to live in London would be like a huge change versus someone who's from places like LA and Chicago and New York living in London.
Well, thank you all again for being here on my channel today. I've been wanting to do this video for a while because if you have been a subscriber for a minute, then you know that I did a video just like this back in 2019, the first year that I moved to London. And now, since I made that video, every person in it besides myself has now moved back to the States. So we have a whole group of friends trying to No, and we probably will.
That's a little rough. So she's saying that all the other people who she had became friends with who were like Americans living in London, they've all gone back to the States except for her. And now she's got this whole new group of friends who are from the US living in London. I wonder, was it really hard to toughen it out or what?
We'll get into that. There's a lot of transition here with Americans that come, to London. So, all new friends. Can't say no new friends if you move here. You really can't. So, time to get into the first question, which is, what inspired you to move to London, and how has your experience been so far?
That's a big one.
Y'all want me to start?
Yeah.
So I was inspired to move to London because I was absolutely miserable back at home. Like, to be completely honest. Yeah. If you've been, watching my videos for a while, then you know that I've been very transparent about feeling very unfulfilled and stagnant in my career in Chicago. I knew I needed to change, so I was like on company time researching master's programs and like, I'm like, I'm out of here. I'm trying to leave. I just made it happen. So I just needed a fresh start.
For me, I wasn't miserable back home. So I'm from Boston, born and raised. I was working there. But I wanted something new. And all my friends were like, we just would expect you to like have left by now, but there was nowhere in the US that I wanted to be. So it's like I would go to all these places. I'm like, that's cool, but I don't want to live there. And then I came in 2019 for Carnival, and I was like, I can see myself living in London. So fast forward to 2020, I got an opportunity in my job to like apply to do a rotation for 2 years, and then I got it. So it worked out.
Yeah, so
I love it.
who came here to study and who came here to work? So
Study, yeah.
which I would say is the easiest.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can I just say these ladies are so brave to like leave their continent, start a new life. I mean, they are so brave.
The easiest way to move abroad is going to be to study.
Yeah.
I haven't heard anybody applying to study here and it didn't work.
No. No, they do. Like acceptance
They
rates are
want
pretty high.
Americans, like they want people to come and study at money universities.
Mhm.
But getting a job, I feel like that's the best way you can.
Yeah.
But it's just so.
It's probably more
you are
stable.
part-
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely. Yeah,
more
but, like,
stability.
way more stable.
But like for you all, your companies had to sponsor you all.
Yeah.
And that can be difficult. Depending on your
Right,
career as well. Like there's only certain careers I feel like that will actually bring people
Yeah,
over.
yeah,
as
very
well.
true.
And the one thing
Yeah.
to note that people don't tell you is that research London salaries to you.
Yeah.
We want to get this out right now. Yes, definitely take that into consideration.
So it was a little bit of both. I was like, I wasn't super miserable, but I definitely wanted to change.
Yeah.
And I was living in New York at the time and just kind of feeling like my time.
Wait, let me go back a minute. She said research London salaries. I heard that salaries in England in general are just a lot lower. The cost of living is lower there and the pay is lower from the US.
And I remember at the time I was like watching a video because I was like, I knew that I wanted to move to London, although I had never actually visited London before. But I was just like, I just have known for a while.
Wait, this is so cool. So she didn't even know, like, the owner of this channel, she didn't even know Paige, which this is Paige Mariah's channel, the lady here from New York, but she had been watching her channel to get information because she had like a desire to move to London, and here they are friends and making a video. Oh, that's pretty cool.
Why I want to be there, but I hadn't seen. I was like, what would it be like to be a Black woman moving to London?
Right.
And you were the only person who was really like letting us follow that journey. So I was like, all right, I need to see, what it is from this person's perspective. And I ended up applying to a master's program during the pandemic and getting in, and then moving.
How many years you've been here?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I'm coming up on my 3rd year here. So I did the master's, then they like opened up the like postgraduate work visas. That's what I'm on now. And the next visa might be spousal.
But no, I think everybody should say how long they've been.
These ladies are really enjoying themselves. I mean, that's beautiful to see friendships like that, no matter where they are, but especially this connection they have because they're African Americans who met up in London.
Been here. So in July it'll be 4.5 years for me.
3 years in September.
A little over, probably like a year and a half now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
About the same, a year and some change, almost a year and a half.
It would be 4 years for me in September.
There we go.
Hey,
There we go. And if you stay here longer than a year,
You
you have a
make
great
yeah.
because it can
Yeah.
be very difficult to study.
Yeah.
What is your favorite thing about living in London?
I wonder what's so hard about the first year. Maybe they'll tell us.
I can go first. Because I always get asked that question. My favorite thing about living in London is the opportunities that are, from my perspective, different from what it is in America when we talk about like building community, but then also developing on yourself. Like you can have a balance here where it's like, I can take time to really develop and grow myself in this direction, but I can also create community and vibe and chill and do all these like, outgoing things. And also it being that we're in this very hot spot, location wise, you could just travel, jump and be somewhere and you're taking trains and you're taking buses and flights and it just makes so much more.
That's what I hear a lot of, by watching videos from Europe and the UK and England is, how much easier it is compared to those who come and visit us here in America. how much easier it is to travel from country to country within the city by train, and really we only have those options in a few large cities like New York and Chicago, maybe one other place, but that, out of the 50 states, that's not very, prevalent. And even if you live out like in the suburbs, a lot of times you don't even have sidewalks and everything is too far to walk. So, and I love what they're saying about community, and they're showing it. Like they just seem like such a beautifully knit community from this short video. And here she's saying like how that is really offered. She feels that's offered in London. Do you guys feel that way, or is it different for you because if you're from there? Let me know in the comments.
Since that motivates you
Yeah.
to get out and actually do stuff versus just sitting in the house doing nothing.
Yeah.
I love that answer.
Yeah.
I would say the same. Like the community that I have built here is probably my favorite part because when you get here, like you want to explore, you want to do things like that I said, and it's so easy to find other people who want to do the same thing who have also moved, abroad. So I think like my biggest friend group here would be like expats.
Definitely.
Which is not always intentional, y'all. Like we don't have to. Yeah, we're only hanging out with Americans. But sometimes it does end up happening that way because these people, nobody's gonna understand it unless you know what I mean? So it's easy for us to want to become friends and come together because we all want to like explore the city. We all want to travel, do all those things. I have British friends as well, but obviously moving to any city where people have been there years or grown up there, they might already have their friendship groups and they might not be as open. Whereas you have expats who are.
Yeah, you know what? It is hard as adults to make friends. It really is. Because I transplanted from the north in the US to the south, and it is really hard to trust people nowadays, just to meet new people. So I just think it is so beautiful they have this connection of we're all transplanted from the US, we're African Americans, and we're in London. Which it doesn't have to be like an all African American friend group, but it just kind of seems like, especially the part about them all being from the US, it's almost like bonded them. Whereas, because it would be nice to be friends with some Brits too, to learn some of the culture, more one on one as a friendship. But it is hard to make new friends. And probably if these same ladies were in the US, they might not, because they haven't known each other, they might not even become friends. But because of they're in this unique situation, they are.
We're like, hi.
Yeah.
And traveling is huge for you, and I think it's kind of big for all of us being here in Europe. Like, literally going to another country is like $30.
It's
What? $30 to go to another country? $30? Wow. I'm jealous. No, I'm happy for them, but I'm like, man, I wish. I'm trying to just think, is there a scenario here where that could happen? Because, the United States is bordered by Canada and Mexico. So only if you were near one of those countries, like only if you were, there's quite a few cities up north that are near Canada. One of them is Detroit, is near Windsor, Ontario. I've been to Windsor, Ontario because I'm from Michigan and Detroit is so close. And even maybe if you caught the bus, maybe from Detroit to Canada, maybe then you could spend $30, maybe. That would be the only scenario that I could see that. Maybe if you live like in Los Angeles or on one of the border states of Mexico, maybe there's some mode of transportation you could get, train or bus, to get you into Mexico for $30. I mean, I think you maybe could even walk, it depend on what, walk through the border security and get checked out over into Mexico. I don't know. But you have to literally be on the edge for the prices that she's saying. You literally would have to be on the edge of the border country for that price. So that is so cool. Y'all can go to another country by train for like $30.
That's so true. What are some of the personal growth or self-discovery moments that you've had since moving to London?
Oh my God.
I came here and I was alone a lot at the beginning. You know what I mean? Because you come over alone, you don't have any family here, you're starting from scratch with friends. And I really had to spend a lot of time with myself and get to know myself a lot. And I saw some parts of myself that I was like, oh, okay, we need to work on that. You know what I mean? So the first year I would say, oh my gosh, it was like very much up and down for me. Like I was so excited and happy to be here, but it was also probably one of the like lowest years for me too. And get comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Yeah. It definitely made me like stop and accept the fact that like issues are not just gonna like go away on their own. Like you can't move away from a problem. That's internal.
Wherever you go, you bring
me with you. And like that, like
I think that's so wonderful that she's discovered that, because a lot of people try to move even to different states here in the U.S. and if you have the same problems that you haven't dealt with within yourself, it doesn't matter if you go to a warmer climate, a cooler climate, a more hustle and bustle, bigger city, a smaller city. If you've got certain issues that you haven't dealt with, there, like she said, you take you wherever you go. So it's almost therapeutic when you get off alone to yourself and you realize, oh, I need to work on me. So it's still helpful to leave the city, to leave for a new place, to have that discovery.
when I moved from LA to like DC and then New York, I was like, you're still young, you're still kind of like caught up in all of it, whatever. And I feel like I didn't like, I don't know, by the time I settled into everything, I just didn't actually reflect. But for some reason here, I also feel like things move fast here. I mean, like, literally been here for less than 3 years and engaged. Things move very fast here. But like, I feel like after my first year, like after kind of like all the newness.
Is that true? Do things move fast in London? Because these ladies are all from big cities and they're considering London to be really fast paced.
So they settled down. I was like, wait, I can see patterns coming up and I'm in a literal different country.
Yeah.
Like all new groups, different place entirely. Like, am I the drama?
Somebody from Instagram wants to know, is the weather really bad all year round?
Yes.
Really? She said that with the quickness. Yes. Is it really bad all year, Londoners, Englanders? Brett?
It's like 3, 4, 6.
Just like you.
Yeah.
My first time coming to London was getting here.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I've never been in a warm climate before. Like, I'm just like, this is gonna be great, right? Like,
She didn't Google it.
Oh, wait, she's from the Windy City. She's from Chicago. So she should be used to it, but she was hoping to get something warmer, I guess.
I'm in this very new apartment type building, and it got very hot randomly last summer here in London. And I was like, oh, maybe I just don't know how to turn on my air conditioning. Right? I'm like, it's just heat. So I called down to the people. I was like, hey, hiya, you all right? I just don't know how to turn on my air conditioning. Which switch is it? Or how do I turn on the AC? He's like, hey, what's that? Oh, yeah. Sweet.
Maintenance guy is like, AC, what's that?
You're in London. We don't have it.
Air conditioning is not a thing.
No.
They don't have HVAC. It doesn't matter if you're in like a luxury apartment. Like that's just not really
Not
a
a
thing.
thing.
Maybe even higher in newer developments.
No, it's just
It's like only in offices.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have
Just offices.
Hot summers is not a thing here.
That's
Yeah.
and the only thing is, I know that
I heard this about the UK. Like, y'all don't really have air conditioning. I guess that makes sense. But then it's like, I guess what do y'all run out and get like some fans or something when there's this type of issue when you guys have like a hot summer for a season or whatever, I guess y'all run out and get some fans.
You will have a couple heat waves during the summer.
Yeah.
And when you do get those heat waves, even though they don't last very long, it might be 3-4 days,
Yeah.
it's miserable. Like my first summer here, y'all, I had a big old fan. I just had it between my legs. Like, it was just so hot and uncomfortable. And like heat rises, obviously.
Yeah.
Okay, so apparently you have to run out and get fans. So, okay, she answered that question.
The higher you live up in your building, it's just like really bad. I had a little personal fan out of the hole, a little spray bottle. Like it was really uncomfortable.
But I would say one other thing is like bring a pocket umbrella with you.
Always have an umbrella. Stay ready.
Yeah.
And like one that
I don't even use an umbrella anymore, and that's what I realized. I realized I was like, London has really got to me because it'll be raining and then it's still not that bad. I'm just like, no. Yeah, I'm just like, no. Did you have a video that went viral?
Oh, yeah.
These ladies are so cute. I could just see them like out to eat, having a great time, being so American in the UK, loud, passing drinks, doing what they're doing now. But they really seem like they have so much camaraderie and they're having fun. I'm glad for them.
You just gotta let it rock, you know? Just like, you don't got the pub outside. 100%. The answer is the weather is as bad as it does actually get hot. It's not always like dreary and rainy, but
And it can affect your mental health.
I was just about to
okay, let's go.
Yeah.
If you have seasonal depression, this might not be the one for you.
I didn't realize.
That's what I was thinking. Like, I can't take it being gray like 75% of the time. I don't know what the percentage is. Like, how often is it gray, you guys? I couldn't take that. I need some sun. Days of rain are fine, but at some point I need some sun. Like for like 4 days in a row, 5 days in a row.
Like I knew people said that London was gray. And I
Yeah.
understood that. I came in the summer the first time, so I was like, this is good. But then like
I don't know, but I really want to come visit you guys. I want to come visit England and just experience everything for myself because I did my DNA test and most of me is from Europe, like almost 60%. Because I'm biracial, but almost 60% of me is from Europe. A large part of that is England, Welsh, and Scotland. So I would really love to come and just experience some of this for myself.
right. In the winter, I'm from the East Coast. I'm used to like snow, but it's still sun. And it's just completely gray. And the apartments, the buildings, everything is like a beige and a so you just feel like I would wake up and it's gray and it's gray the whole day and then it gets dark.
Let's talk about the sun setting at 3:30.
Yeah.
Not even clocking into work till like 8:30, and then clocking out at 3:30.
The days are very short.
Wait, the sun is gone at 3:30. Man, that does sound depressing. Like she's like, my apartment's basically, she said beige, but maybe it's grage, like a gray beige or something. And then it's gray outside. And then when they get out of work, it's already dark because it's dark at 3:30. Oh my gosh. I do not like, okay, I'm here down in the South, right? It gets dark early too, like that when it's not summertime. So down here, it gets dark at like 4:30. So, I mean, I can't really brag. Well, we've got like an hour later time. Whereas up north, it would get dark at like maybe 5:30 in the winter. And then where I'm from in Michigan, in the summertime, it will be light out to like 10 o'clock at night sometimes. But here it's not really like that. It will stay light out in the summer here to maybe like 8 and dusk starts coming around 9. But oh my gosh, 3:30. I remember once, y'all, I worked this job when I was younger. It was like a 12-hour shift job. And I had to be there at like 6 in the morning. And then I didn't get off till 6. And it was like during the wintertime, fall and winter. So on my way in, it was dark. When I got out, it was dark. I was like, oh, this sucks. Like that stands out in my mind 20 plus years later. Like, oh, that sucked. For it to be dark, morning, dark when I get out. Um, but I know y'all have some pluses to offset it. What do y'all do when it's dreary like that? Like what makes you guys happy in England when there's if the gray is overwhelming like that? What makes you guys happy during that time?
Have you noticed any significant differences in dating and relationships between the United States and London? How was the dating? Another person asked, how was the dating pool of Black men? Because the pool is contaminated in the U.S.
If I was talking
Ouch! Whoever sent that question in, they were rather forward and American in the way they sent that question. Said the dating pool is tainted with the Black men in America. I'm interested. I'm married, so it wouldn't apply to me. But I'm interested to see what they say based on the culture here versus there.
from my own experience, it would be like men who aren't actually like you thought you were on the same page and like you wanted
It's
something
like
more
off the
serious, and it's like, yeah, I'm just trying to see where
this.
this will go, and it's like, well, I need a little more attention than that, you know?
Wait, is she saying that the men aren't serious in the UK? I don't know if that's what she's saying. It sounds like that's what she's saying. And if so, then if they say that the pool is tainted in America, then it sounds like it's comparable, you know.
But I also found that like, I mean, I dated briefly in London before being with my partner, but I found that like being American was such a talking point. That actually like irritated. It was a bit like the whole conversation would just become about like what they think Americans are like. And like it made me kind of feel like, you know, like America's so diverse, and you're probably thinking about a certain type of American that I don't fall into the category of. And I kind of felt like I kept having to over explain or justify stuff, and it was just kind of like, I'm tired.
And after that, it would be like, even just going out and you're meeting men and they catch on to the American accent, they kind of be like, you're giving me fetish vibes. Like, you wanted to be with an American this whole time, and now you found one, and now you're asking me 1,000 questions about being American. And it's just like, it's a quick turn off.
I feel like one of my issues with dating here was that I feel like guys didn't take me as serious because they knew that I was from the States, and just because maybe they thought I was only going to be here temporarily or what, but it seemed more difficult to find somebody that wanted to be more serious. But there's also this running joke, which I'm not sure that it's a joke after being here this long, that British Black men will have you in an 8-month talking stage. And
I should not take that.
Okay, so it sounds like they've moved from things move fast to, she says now British men will have you, she said British Black men, I think she specifically said British Black men will have you in an 8-month talking stage. But you know, I don't know about these ladies, but maybe if they broaden their horizons and didn't just focus on one race, but just the fact that I'm in England and I'm going to date you know, based on the content of someone's character, maybe they would they obviously would increase their dating pool, and maybe they would be pleasantly surprised. Who knows?
There's a lot of players here. You know what I mean? There's a lot of hands.
I would say if you're gonna move here and you have intentions of dating, just try to have fun with it. Because I can say I've had so much fun with it. Even if it didn't go somewhere like serious, I enjoyed myself. I had some fun dates. And it was just a cool experience dating somebody from, you know, a different culture with a different accent. The accent it's always gonna be on, like, you know, for me it's gonna be.
And they love our accent.
Do you guys, because we really love like the British accent, you know, some of them, because there's various British accents, but some of them people take as really sexy. But I always feel like in the UK, the British feel like our accent is hideous. So, but she says that they like our accents. Is that true?
How do you manage homesickness or staying connected with family and friends back in the United States while living abroad? FaceTime is the best invention ever. Like, me and my mom sit on FaceTime all all day long. Like, I just feel like if I didn't have that, it would be very difficult for me to stay connected. But do you all ever feel homesick? Like you?
Oh yeah, definitely.
I know.
No. When I first moved here, I think 3 years, I was not thinking about the States. Okay, I had no desire to ever move back. I'm enjoying myself. I'm living my life. I was not thinking about the States. Like, I miss my family. So
She said the first couple years she wasn't thinking about the States. She must have been enjoying London then.
this is from Instagram. Are there any soul food eateries in London or African American owned restaurants?
Is there? Because I would imagine there wouldn't be. Because from my understanding, most of the people who live in England or London who are Black, they are transplanted directly from Africa, like their first and second, third generation from different countries in Africa. So yeah, I would imagine there just wouldn't be a big market for African American food.
Right.
I'm about to say, that mac and cheese is different.
Yeah, it doesn't.
So Black owned, yes, but I'm not sure if it's African American owned. So
y'all had it.
well, I've seen, so just the other day I walked past Southern Hospitality vibe restaurant, and they had like gumbo and jambalaya, and I'm like,
Did you go in?
who cooked this? No. I was looking at the menu, and I'm like, I don't know. My experience with like American themed restaurants have never been good here.
Yeah.
So basically, all of us would say no. But if y'all got a good one,
Yeah.
Yeah,
try
but
And there is, in terms of like just Black owned, there's a Black owned Happy Market, which
Mhm. Oh,
that
yeah.
was that happens like every summer, and that food is so good. Like
But Black owned might mean more like African,
Caribbean.
Like it's not necessarily
West
mean
African.
where you know it's
That was interesting to hear their perspective. Please share, like, and subscribe for more reaction videos.